All right, so we're going to use our foldable to refer back to all these different terms and symbols to help us with this. So it says on example 1a, give two other names for, and that's a line symbol above PQ. So PQ is referring to the line. So here's P right here, and there's Q right here. So it's referring to this line. Let me go ahead and just highlight it. So it's talking about this line right here. So it wants two other names. Well, the first thing for a line is you can just reverse the letters, so we can call it QP. And then we have to put the line symbol, which is the line with two arrows on it. The other thing we can do is we can name it with this letter right here. This letter does not have a point with it, so it's specifically there to name the line. So when we use in, we have to write the word line in. We can't just write in. So line in. Give two other names for plane R. So plane R is this entire flat parallelogram plane over here. Let me go ahead and just erase my stuff real quick. So I can name a plane by using this letter right down here. Notice it doesn't have a point, so that's specifically there. It's an uppercase letter there to name the plane. So that's how they did plane R. The other way I can name it is by choosing 3 points. They have to be on the plane. So I have V, S, P, or T, and I need to choose 3 of them. However, they cannot be collinear, meaning they can't be in the same line. So I cannot choose S, P, and T because they're all in the same line. So that doesn't denote a one plane. There's actually a lot of planes that could go through S, P, and T. So I can choose 3 points not in a line. So S, V, and P are not in a line. So SVP would be an option. I could also choose S, V, and T. That's another option. I could do VPT. I just need to choose 3 points on the plane, not in the same line. Okay, now let's talk about collinear. So collinear means in the same line. So 3 points that are in the same line are right here, S, P, and T. So when it says 3 points that are collinear, we're just going to do S, P, and T, because remember, collinear, linear is line, so it's in the same line. Okay, so coplanar means same plane. So go ahead and choose 4 points that are coplanar. All right, so S, V, P, and T are all in the same plane. This point right here, Q, is above the plane, so it is not coplanar. I'll go ahead and have you try E. It says give 2 other names for ST. It's a line ST. All right, so this line is right here. This is line ST. So you could have options of line M. You could switch the order and do TS. You could do any variety of SP or PS. And you could also do PT or TP. So last but not least, name a point that is not coplanar with points Q, S, and T. All right, so Q, S, and T, let's just go ahead. That's kind of a different question right there. So one thing we can do with Q, S, and T is we can go ahead and just highlight them to kind of look where they're at. So here's Q, S, and T. So if you drew a plane going through this, that would be kind of like a vertical plane. And so it would actually be going down here and slicing through. So it'd be kind of standing up and down. It would include P because if S and T are included, P is included also. And so what it's going to leave out is it's going to leave out V. Okay, so it says give another name for, and then this symbol up here is line segment GH. So it's specifically talking about from G to H. So what we're going to do is we can't just do J to G because that doesn't include all of the highlighted portion. So if we're doing from G to H, it's the same as doing H to G. So that's the other name for the line segment GH is line segment HG. Be real careful with your notation, that symbol up top. It has to be a line segment. If you put arrows, it's saying it's a line, which is a different thing than a line segment. So now name all the rays with endpoint J. So that also is a little bit trickier. Let me just go ahead and highlight them, and then I'm going to have you try to do it. So J's right here. So there's one ray going that way. Go and just put an arrow on it. I will switch colors. There's one ray going that way. A third ray starting at J and going that way. And a fourth ray starting at J and going this way. So see if you can name all four rays. All right, so we had J to G, that was the green one, and you have to do the endpoint first, and they said the endpoint was J. That's why J must come first. Then you can do J to E, that was the orange one. J to H is the purple one, and J to F is the blue one. Now it says, which of these rays are opposite rays? Keep in mind that opposite rays form a line. So for example, if I just take off that, the orange one and the blue one go opposite directions and they form a line. So that tells me that the orange one is JE, and it is an opposite ray with the blue one, which was JF. So the two I just highlighted in orange, those are opposite rays. So then the other two also form opposite rays, and the reason for that is you have one going here from J to H, and one going from J to G. They share an endpoint, and they go in opposite directions. So those two are also opposite rays. All right, I'm going to go ahead and have you try C. It says give another name for KL, and it is a line segment. So go ahead and do that now. All right, so our answer is just going to be LK with the line segment symbol on top of it. All right, let's go ahead and try D. It says, is ray KP and ray PK the same ray? Let's look at that with a highlighter. I think that's the easiest way. So KP starts at K, and it goes through P, and remember, it doesn't stop there. It continues on forever in that direction. So it's that yellow space. PK, let's go ahead and do an orange. So PK starts at P, and it goes through K, continuing forever in that direction. So the highlighted space does overlap, but it's not the entire exact same space because they're not taking up the same room and they're going in different directions. So I would say that no, they're not the same ray, and basically they don't occupy the same space. All right, let's go ahead and do example 3 and see how we do. This is all about sketching, and it's okay if your sketches aren't great. We're just going to do our best. So it says sketch a plane and a line that's in the plane. When it wants you to sketch a plane, just do a parallelogram. And a line that is in it is just a line laying inside the parallelogram. Let's do B down here. Sketch a plane. So here's my plane. And a line that does not intersect the plane. Well, that would have to be parallel, hovering above or below it. So I could just put it above it right here or below it down here. This one says sketch a plane and a line that intersects the plane at a point. So think of it like a pencil stabbing through a paper. So it's going to go through at this point. I'm just picking a point. There's my line. Now on the back side where you can't see it, we continue it on dashed. And then where we can see it again, it becomes a straight line. So that's my line intersecting the plane at a point. And then it says sketch 2 different lines that intersect a plane at the same point. So you have a plane. So then you have a line, just like we drew last time, intersecting the plane. And then maybe your other line, I'll just switch colors to make sure it's clear. Your other line is going through the same point they said, and maybe it's going like more straight up and down. So they both intersect this plane at the same point. All right, last but not least, let's go ahead and do the check for understanding. So first, can you name the intersection of segment PQ and line K? All right, so segment PQ is this portion right here, and line K is right here, and they intersect at point M, or you could just call it M if you would like. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ask you to name an intersection of plane A and plane B. All right, so the planes intersect. If you look at where they cross each other right here. And because planes extend forever, they cross each other at a line, which is going to be, in this case, called line K. You can see the lowercase kind of italicized letter. So it's going to be line K, and I need to make that lowercase. That's how I always want to name them. All right, so last but not least, name the intersection of line K in plane A. All right, so plane A and plane B, where they intersect is right here. But keep in mind, planes go forever in both directions. So they're going to extend this way. So this is a line, and it's line K. Keep in mind that that's not a point, that's the name of a line, so we're going to specifically use the lowercase k. And we're going to call it good for there. So I know this is a lot of vocab. We'll be working on vocab all of chapter 1, but it will play a heavy part in the rest of geometry, so we want to have a really good foundation of understanding our vocabulary terms.